Something else I want you to do. Cheer.
We're live. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. This is another episode of Melanated Thought. I am Reggie O.
And I'm Mimi the lady.
And what a lovely lady she is, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, she is. I can say that because I can flirt with her all day long. But anyway, yeah, this is another good show, man. We got another good one today. Today's topic is going to be interracial dating, marriages, and relationships, and how they affect the black community, either positive or negative. So this is going to be a pretty good one tonight. And as usual, every week I come up with a book or a series of books that every black person should read at least once in their lifetime. This one holds true to the subject of today. It's actually a 3-volume set written by by a man named J.A. Rogers. For those of you who are historians and love black history, you know who that man is. These books, it's a 3-volume set. I used to have them in my library years ago, but for some reason, I think they got wet or something like that. I haven't replaced them yet, but I need to do that. The book series is called Sex and Race by J.A. Rogers. It's a really good read. It's a 3-volume set, so if you're an avid reader like myself, you will definitely appreciate that volume of books because it's really cool. And just check it out, y'all. It's really good stuff. It really is. So with that said, how you doing, babe?
I'm doing very well. How are you, sleeping?
I'm doing halfway decent. You gave me a big, long honey-do list, and I know I still got some stuff that I got to do.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Yes, that's all right, though. That's all right. I kind of respected it.
Well, let's get started with some current events,
All right.
shall we?
What you got, babe? What you got?
Okay, first, let's pay homage and give much respect and rest in peace to John Lewis.
Yeah.
And I watched the entire funeral on on channel, I think it was channel 8, ABC.
Yeah.
And I was switching back and forth between ABC and CNN. You know, I love CNN. I think both channels did an awesome coverage of the funeral.
Okay.
It was a very, very nice funeral. But you know, the one that I love the most is my boy Barack Obama.
Of course.
He gave an excellent eulogy for John Lewis, and he also tied it to today to let us know what Brother Lewis stood for.
Okay.
And what he fought for all these years.
All right.
And what I was most impeccably encouraged about was his posthumous op-ed that he published in the New York Times.
Okay. Yeah, I heard about that.
Did you get a chance to read it?
I haven't read it yet, but I need to read it. Did you read it or get the gist of it or anything?
I did, and what he was basically saying that he fought for us. He loved black culture.
Yeah.
He was a non-violent man, and even then, the day of his death, he was still giving us the hope to vote.
Okay.
Don't let them take that away from you.
Right.
Because they are trying every day.
Well,
in the words of T.I., expeditiously.
Of course, man. Well, I have mixed emotions about John Lewis because when he was alive, some of the things that he did was kind of questionable to me. But since the man is no longer here to defend himself, I'm not going to talk bad about him or anything like that. But much respect. But I will say this about the whole John Lewis thing. Did you know that the current president didn't even go to his funeral?
Absolutely.
He didn't even pay any respects. I don't think he sent flowers or anything to the man or his family.
No, he did a quick little tweet.
Of course, that's his thing.
A little tweet.
Oh, that's his thing.
But also, again, at the funeral, we had Clinton.
Yeah.
We had Baby Bush, which is the son.
Of course.
Of course, we had Obama.
Yeah.
And even Carter. He couldn't come to the funeral because of his health to fly.
Right.
But he sent a statement.
Hey, at least he said something.
And Trump didn't send a flower, a pigeon, a note in a bottle. And that just makes you see, and just to see Carter, not to see Carter, just to have his presence there through the statement,
Right.
to see Obama, Bush, and Clinton.
Right.
All three of those men got up and spoke at the services, and they just seem so presidential.
Of course.
Of what you thought a president should do in that manner, you know.
Of course.
And it just shocks me that. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, baby. People say Trump is racist.
You know what?
I'm beginning to think you couldn't pay this man a little homage.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a known fact that Trump is racist, man. That's a known fact. I mean, come on, think about this, man. Some of his closest friends are racist. One of which he appointed in some kind of an office, but Steve Bannon, he's a known white supremacist. So. That should tell you something right there. And on top of that, he supports the alt-right, which is strictly white supremacy incarnate, next to the KKK, of course. But, I digress. Rest in peace, John Lewis.
And just for this final thought on him, I would like to read part of his op-ed. It says, together, you can redeem the soul of our nation. Though I am gone, I urge you to answer the highest calling of your heart and stand up for what you truly believe.
Okay. That's
beautiful words.
Very beautiful words.
Beautiful
like I said, I have mixed emotions about John Lewis, but I'm not going to talk bad about the man because he's no longer here out of respect.
Yes, absolutely.
But rest in peace, John Lewis.
Amen.
What else you got, baby?
Next topic, let's talk about Herman Cain. Is he from Oklahoma?
I think he is.
He like the pizza guy or something?
Yeah. He's a pizza guy. I think he is from Oklahoma. Let me see.
And he's a big Republican. I know he ran for a presidency, I think the same time
he
as...
did run about the same time that Trump did. And
exactly.
He lost the bid, so he dropped out of the race kind of early.
Right. Now, from my understanding, rest in peace, brother, he passed away from COVID. Not sure if he contacted when he went to Trump's rally that was in Oklahoma. But they said a couple of days after that he was admitted to the hospital. He stayed in there 4 weeks, and now he has gone on.
Yeah, and we already know about Mr. Cain. I'm not gonna. He was from Memphis.
Memphis, okay.
Okay, but we're gonna talk about Mr. Cain. I mean, Herman Cain was definitely, not for the development and upliftment of black people. Let's just be honest, y'all. But I'm not, like I said, out of respect for him passing away, I'm not going to talk bad about him, so I'm going to let that pass for now. But rest in peace, Herman Cain.
Well, I just wanted to bring him up as a current event because he was one of the ones that was up in the rally.
Yeah, he was.
No mask on.
No mask on whatsoever.
No social distancing.
None.
And now he's gone.
Now he's gone. So, hey, that should tell me something right there.
This coronavirus is real.
It's for real, man.
I mean, from my understanding, the death toll is over 153,000.
Right. It's a lot. Well, that's quite a few people.
That's a lot of people.
That's quite a few people for something that could have been avoided in the first place. But you know what? I'm not going to even go there. I mean, I could.
Well, from my understanding, when I do my little research now, Ebola more deadly than Corona.
Of course.
Worldwide, 2 people died.
There you go, people. Come on. And dare I say it, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there, just because.
Speak your mind.
The previous president warned the current president about this thing that's getting ready to come out of China. What did the current president do? He completely ignored it, didn't he?
He ignored it and was interested in trying to get the wall built.
Exactly. That was his biggest concern right there. But
and now here we are, 150,000 people plus.
Of course.
Gone.
Yeah, man. That's just sad. But anyway, that's what you got. What else you got, baby?
Also, another emphasis on the coronavirus. The congressman that's from Texas.
Yeah.
Who claims that he was not going to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Who now has COVID. He claims he got COVID from wearing a mask.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the mask gave him COVID.
The mask gave him COVID.
Wow.
Because he said he didn't get it until he started wearing a mask.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it's in him or his breath, or I don't know what that could be. But he said the mask gave him, unless he was wearing somebody else's mask.
I'm not going to go there, man. Because if he had COVID,
I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank on that one.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
but you know,
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is, man. You know, you didn't wear a mask, you didn't protect yourself or the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
In the words of Cat Williams, that's just God's will, right there. So.
Yeah, make you think.
Yeah, it does. Like you said, it's some real stuff. It's real, man. So,
It
you know,
is.
everybody out there, please, by all means, protect yourselves, man. Wear that mask if you're out in public, because I know I wear mine.
Absolutely.
So, what else you got, baby?
Okay, one more topic that's interesting to the current culture and the current climate.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have less than 100 days until the big vote day.
Oh, yeah, the national election for the
Now, will
next
Agent
president.
Agent Orange be able to stay in office another 4 years, or is Brother Biden gonna get up in there?
That remains to be seen.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that remains to be seen because we already know what Agent Orange is all about. You know what he's all about. He don't give a damn about nobody but
He
himself.
feels like that we need to push the voting day
And here's the funny part.
off.
Didn't mean to cut you off, babe, but here's the funny part about that whole thing right there. Here's the funny part about this whole thing. When Obama got elected president, people were saying that he was going to pull this very same stunt. Sounds like they were off by one president, don't you? I mean, this
I
man.
think it's 1845 since we've been voting, and I don't think we've had bad weather and other things that would stop people from going to the polls.
Right.
But here this man want to do it because he think it's going to be rigged if people
The write-in
cast
vote.
their votes for write-in.
Yeah.
What balls do this man have to just think he can just
I'm telling you, he
change?
thinks he's God. I'm telling you, this guy. I mean, you know, for all you Trump supporters out there, you know, it's a lot of Trump supporters out there, a lot of black ones too. You know, hey, I don't really care. If you support Trump, that's your business. I don't care. But my point is this: this man right here has lost his ever-loving mind.
Yeah, I was looking at a show that I'm not going to name the show, but they said, boy, you sure have some big walnuts.
Oh my God, man!
Because
he's
just, oh my goodness.
Man,
It's like he has no, is he supposed to have some filters or some congressmen or some departments he's supposed to answer to?
yeah,
It's like he just do whatever he want to do and that's it.
That's
he don't
pretty
answer
much
to
it.
anyone.
That's pretty much it.
And he's running this government in this country like a business.
Yep.
And that's not how you do it at all. At all. But one more thing I want to speak about as a black woman, do you think Biden should select the black woman for his running mate as a VP?
Well,
We have some good candidates. We got Kamala and
I don't know about that one.
you don't like Kamala?
Nah, man.
Okay, what about Keisha? Keisha from Vice President Keisha.
Keisha Bottom.
Yeah, from Atlanta.
From Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got mixed emotions about her.
Okay.
But you know, look, but here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about Joe Biden choosing a black woman or a woman in general as vice president.
I was just going to say, I don't know. I think it's only one. Klobuchar, I think that's how you say her name. I think she's the only one that's not black
right.
candidate, I believe. Let me
Okay.
look that up right quick while you speak on it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Babe.
Well, the thing of it is, if he chooses a black woman as a vice presidential running mate, I'm just gonna be honest with you. He just pretty much just sealed his own death warrant as far as becoming president because I don't think he'll make it. That's just
Why would you say that?
That's just my personal opinion.
Why?
Because I think it was Walter Mondale when he ran for president. He chose Geraldine Ferraro as his running mate in the 80s.
Well, back in the 80s, babe, I don't think we were quite ready.
I don't think we're ready now. I'm just being honest. I mean, you know, personally, you know, this is just my view on the whole presidency. It doesn't matter who gets elected. Whether you select Jim Crow Joe or Agent Orange, it doesn't matter who gets elected.
Jim Crow Joe. All right now.
Hey man, it don't matter. It don't matter. If you pick either one of those guys, black people are going to get screwed, blued, and tattooed no matter how you slice it.
You think so?
I know so.
Okay.
But the thing of it is, man, if he chooses a black woman as his running mate, I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. But I just don't think that America is ready for a black woman as his second in command.
Okay.
I just don't think it is. I just don't think, because you got to understand something. The principles of this country was founded upon, or stolen, however you want to say it.
Okay.
But it was founded on the principles of white men.
Okay.
Granted, we had Barack Obama sneak in, but I think that was. I have another thing about that, but I digress. I don't think that America as a whole is ready for a female vice president as of yet. I just don't think that's ready. I don't think that's.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to. I mean, not to say that it's not going to happen, but I just can't see it happen.
Well, there's 13 candidates running, and out the 13, 7 are white. So we have kind of like almost a balance, 6 to 7. So
okay, so it's about
but
right.
it looks like it's going to be a woman, but we just don't know if it's going to be a woman of color,
Right.
or a Caucasian, whatever.
Right.
But one of them, like, she's not Caucasian, but
Yeah, one of them is Asian.
okay. Well,
right?
let me say this: if not a woman of color, what about a woman in general?
Well, like I said, I mean, Walter Mondale tried it with Geraldine Ferraro back in the day.
But even in this culture that we in, how far we've come as a country, and how we've seen other countries, women have led the country, not just the vice where they are presidents and bishops and the main person to go to in that country.
Oh, yeah.
And they're a successful country.
Right.
So if we've seen that, you don't think a woman can be a VP?
Oh no, I didn't say it couldn't happen.
Okay.
I'll
Do
be
you
all
think it'd
for
be
it.
like some dog bite behind it?
I think so. That's pretty much what I'm saying. I mean, I don't think that America as a whole. I mean, the individual might be ready for that.
Okay.
But America as a whole isn't ready for that.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna disagree with you.
No, I mean, by all means, disagree. I mean, I'm just
Because
saying.
I just feel like we as women we've showed ourselves self-approved, we've done our homework, we've done our due diligence.
Right.
And I think we can lead this country to the utmost respect. The other countries will look at us and say, hey, they've come a long way and here they are. They have arrived. If not as VP, if not president.
Yeah.
I really do. Let me ask you this. Who is our current VP?
Mike Pence.
Is that who it is?
Mike Pence.
That's what I'm trying to lead to. I don't even know who it is.
Yeah.
So you don't never hear about. Do he do anything?
I don't hear.
I know,
never
that's what
heard
I'm
anything
saying.
about that
I'm
dude,
just
man.
trying to be being politically correct. You hear Agent Orange doing everything.
And saying everything.
I mean, he does everything.
And
So
say
like when
everything.
Obama was in office, you heard a lot of things that Joe did. I just don't hear anything that Pence is doing. Nothing.
I'm not going to sit up here and say that Pence is not doing anything. I really don't know, to be honest with you.
I don't
But
know.
saying that Pence is okay, I just have to make sure that this thing said it's broadcasting live because my laptop is actually kind of janky.
Oh,
Saying that Pence is
okay.
Well, yeah, we're good. So sorry about that, y'all. If you hear echo, that was me playing around on the phone. Sorry about that.
All right, well, those are our current events for today.
All right.
So let's get to the main topic.
All right.
Interracial dating in the Black community.
And you got a couple of definitions, don't you?
I do.
Let's
I
hear
would
'em.
like to start out with Wikipedia's definition. Interracial marriage or dating is a form of marriage or dating outside a specific social group
Okay.
involving interracial dating or marriages between a man, a woman, or whatever. What do they mean by whatever?
Man, That's a good question.
Absolutely.
That's a really good question.
Okay, now let's keep it,
Go ahead.
melanated and give the Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
And it says
Yeah.
the act of dating a person who is not of your race.
Okay.
A black man dating an Asian girl.
Okay.
A white man dating a black girl.
Okay.
And so forth.
Right. But yeah.
We just gonna keep it with the black culture right
There you
now.
go. We're gonna keep it with the black culture right now.
Okay.
You got another one? Or is that it?
I just want to do like what Wikipedia had versus the Urban Dictionary.
That's a good one.
I mean, it's not that much of a difference, you know.
Yeah,
But
that's a good analogy, though. That's a really good analogy. I like that. That's kind of dope. I like how you did that. But yeah, I mean,
what was the first couple of an interracial? I think it became legal in 1967, I believe. Yeah, 1967.
was it 67? It became 100% legal because people have been getting married outside their race for a very long
many
time.
years.
One of our ancestors, Frederick Douglass, was married to a white woman.
Yeah, you showed me that the other day.
Yeah, he was married to a white woman. I mean, granted, his first wife, the one he has children with, that was a sister, 100% black sister, and he was with her until she died. And then a couple of years after she died, he married a white woman. I don't think they had children though.
1967 was a Supreme Court decision to
go ahead and make it legal.
Yes, sir.
All over the U.S.
Well, I won't say the U.S.
The
United States Constitution.
There you go. Okay, I got you.
But yeah, so what? Let me ask you. So I'm gonna let you start. What are your thoughts on interracial marriage or dating?
Well, here's the thing. I have dabbled.
I was just going to say, let's start with you.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
Personally?
Yes,
okay,
I have.
Yeah.
I've dated. I've dated outside my race.
Okay.
A couple times, not a lot.
A couple of times.
Not a lot. But,
would you like to elaborate on the different races?
Yeah, sure. I've dated. No, don't judge me, y'all. I've dated white women. I've dated a Native American woman. I've dated an Asian woman, even an Hispanic. So, but I'm just being honest with y'all. For me, I prefer a sister. That's just what I prefer. Now, I'm not knocking anybody else for dating outside the race. You know, you date whoever makes you happy.
Absolutely.
Because I'm good with my baby right here. You know.
100% African.
There you go.
I prefer black women.
That's my baby right there, y'all. Right to my left. And that's my heart right there. I'll tell anybody that. But anyway, to accentuate on that point, to be honest with you, it's all about who makes you happy.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple. That's what I stated earlier. I mean, if you are happy with dating outside your race, more power to you.
Absolutely.
But for me personally, I prefer a sister.
Well, not to dig all in your business, but was there a difference? I mean, could you tell a difference between the different races?
Culturally, yeah.
Culturally, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing about it. Because, you know, as black people, we do things a certain way. Other races don't. About the only two races that come close to what black people do are Hispanic women and Native American women. Because the Native American woman that I dated, she listened to hip hop more than me. And I'm like, wow, whoa, you got stuff that I don't even have. I need to go dig in your CDs or whatever. But for the most part, they do things different. And it's, so that's the only thing that I can say, because like that's why I always tell people, and I continue to say this: the best thing for a black man is a black woman, because a black woman understands a black man.
His plight.
There you go. Exactly. They know. You can't teach that to somebody else. It's impossible. So, but like I said, it depends on who you want to be with, ultimately. So that's all it is to it. But yeah, I mean, is there a difference? Yes, it's a big difference culturally, because like I said, black
What did you learn? Did they learn from you? And did you learn from them? Like as far as, take for instance, the Asian lady. Did you learn anything except for the food, of course?
Yeah.
But did you learn anything about her culture or where she was from or how she was raised that was different from you?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Okay.
No doubt about it.
And did you incorporate any of that into your life now?
Well, being that the relationship wasn't very long, I really can't say. But like I said, I did, with her being, well, she was actually Filipino.
Okay.
So with her being Filipino, they had the Spanish influence on their lifestyle. So it was a little mixture of the Asian culture and the Spanish culture in one big deal. Okay. But anyway, like I said, things were different. I mean, she didn't have any children. She didn't have any children, so they were. So she was kind of like footloose and fancy free. And the thing of it is, with that being said, she was pretty cool. I mean, you know, she was alright. Yeah.
Now, was this when you was in college, or were you out on your own working?
I was out on my own working.
Okay.
Yeah, I met her at work, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So, you know.
So y'all was in the same field?
No.
Okay, just at the same company.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So, and that was that. So, but yeah.
Okay.
That's it. That's it for that.
Well, now that you're older,
Yeah.
no regrets?
Nah.
Just a life experience.
It's just a life experience. That's all it
Okay.
was. That's
Okay.
pretty much all it was. I mean, I'm not bragging on the fact because I don't really talk about it, to be honest with you. You know that. So,
Why?
I just don't. I mean, because that's something that's, number one, is personal. And number two, it's in the past.
So do you, what about your children? Would there be a problem if they want to date interracially?
If one of my stepchildren came up to me and said, hey, this is who I want to be with, I wouldn't say a word.
Okay.
Because they're adults. They're going to have to learn on their own anyway. So, yeah, I wouldn't have any issues with that.
Yeah,
None whatsoever. Because, like I said, you're going to date whoever makes you happy.
Again, love is love.
There you go. I mean, but I would always tell them, don't lose sight of who you are.
Right.
Don't lose, I mean, just because you're dating outside your race, just because of that doesn't make you any better than anybody else on this planet.
Right.
Especially
Right.
as a black person. So don't go there. And I think that's the biggest problem that I have with people dating outside their race.
They lose sight of who they are.
Right, exactly. They lose sight of who they are.
You know, Raheem. Hey, Raheem. I would say like, hey, Peter.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. At first he was all, you know, say a lot, I'm black and I'm proud.
Or the Tims with the jerseys. Now he all buttoned down.
Now he's all
Dockers.
buttoned down, you know, in Dockers and, you know, putting mayonnaise on his hamburgers and stuff like that. Come on, man, you know.
Well, was your family okay with it? I mean, you know, some people's family, like I was going to speak about my family about it. Was your family okay with it?
I'm just going to be honest with you. My family tolerated it.
Okay, they talk. Okay.
That's all they did. They just tolerated it. Because you met my stepdad.
Yeah. Very pro-black.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm like, get your family
Exactly. No, they just tolerated it, man. I mean, you know, but I think my mother knew that. Oh, it ain't gonna last. Yeah, my mother knew.
Good looking at.
But that's what it was. She was, nah, it ain't gonna last. But yeah.
Well, as long as you have that experience. But personally, for me, I mean, I'm just going to keep it 100. My family always tell me if they can't use your comb, don't bring her home.
Come on now.
And, you know, like I said, I went to, you know, a couple of colleges, and I have been approached by several other races, and I mean, they're good people. I love to, you know, talk to them and be friendly with them and have lunch with them. But as far as bringing them home and dating,
right.
I mean, just for me personally, I just, my psyche wouldn't go that far.
Right.
Because I just knew in the back of my mind, if something ever happened or pop off, I just feared that,
they ain't gonna have your back.
Yeah, that BB was gonna come out his mouth.
Black.
Yeah. And I was like, no, Joe. Because if I don't let my black brothers get away with calling me a BB, I'm definitely not gonna let another race get away with calling me a BB.
Oh no.
So, but I know, you know, people say things out of anger all the time, but I don't know if he say that, and I don't know if I'll be able to come back from that, you know?
But see, think of it is, and that's the one thing I was really afraid of, you know, with me dating outside my race.
But she was going to call you
just say the word in general, because, you know, I don't play that word. You know, I don't even...
No, he don't.
I don't.
And I have a bad habit. I just have a habit of saying that he looks at me like I'm correct. And I'm like, excuse, I'm sorry.
So, you know, but like I said, you know, just saying the word in general, you know, I just, you know, wait a minute, whoa. You cutting close now, man.
Right.
So, you know, that's cutting too deep.
Yeah,
you know,
I understand.
No. I mean, I understand, you know, you're reciting the lyrics to a rap song. I get that part. But, you know, hey, not around me. You can do it, you know, behind closed doors or whatever, but around me, no, exactly. When I'm not around, you can say it all you want.
Absolutely. But yeah, that was just my fear. Like, you know, like I said, good people, very honest people, and just good characters, and you know, people I would like to have in my lifetime as a friend. But as far as a mate,
right?
Personally, this is my personal.
Yeah.
You know, no.
I Well,
I love my brothers.
hey, nothing wrong with
I
that.
love my red bone right here.
Another life.
I told myself, I'm gonna tell everybody we're in an interracial relationship. I'm coffee mocha, and he's like brown sugar.
Look at this. All light skin jokes, man. Come on. Those light skin folks can't catch a break. That's messed up.
But honestly, though, it seems like for the I know interracial marriage and dating has been around
for
forever,
a very long time.
But it's like I think you and I had this conversation. Will we be able to find a pure race anymore?
No, not anymore.
Everybody is, mixing and.
I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that you won't anymore is because people have always said that we're all mixed up anyway.
Well, true.
There's even a study that was going on. One of these major universities did a study, said by the year 2050, everybody in the United States is going to be like my color or lighter.
2050?
Right.
You think about it, it's not that far away.
Exactly, because everybody's so mixed up.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just it. Because everybody is mixing together. So that's the reason why. But yeah, that's a good look up right there because they had stated that.
Wow. Well, like for you, it's like I know I'm mixed with something. 'Cause I know my great grandmother was part Indian, but I don't know what percentage.
Right.
But I know you have told me you have done the history on you, and
I've done the digging. I'm going to get that DNA swab done so I can go ahead and find out exactly what it is. Yeah, 23andMe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to get that done. I'll get you a kit too, so we both can do it.
Absolutely,
because that'll be kind of interesting. We'll read them on the air.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be cool. So,
but I still say I think I have like Irish in me.
You probably do. I wouldn't doubt it. You probably do. Because I know that from me just talking to people in the family, my grandmother, her dad was Seminole. So I got this Seminole thing going on. And talking to my dad when he was alive, according to him, we have a little bit of, we have some, I think it's Cherokee. So I got both of those. And so
you got two of the major tribes in your bloodline.
Oh yeah, two of the major ones. And so, and my grandfather, his grandmother, his mother, Big Mama.
Not Big Mama.
No, yeah, Big Mama. I had a Big Mama.
I think we all had, yeah.
Oh yeah, I had a Big Mama. Big Mama was half white.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was half white. Her eyes were a pretty shade of crystal gray.
Let's just keep it 100 here, Sweet Pea.
Okay.
During slavery.
Come on, man. It happened a lot.
It
happened a lot.
Because if we do our research, we all gonna have.
Yeah. And that's the reason why that a lot of, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, a lot of racist white people, they will admit they have everything in them except for black. They will. I have seen white people that will literally say, damn near their mama's a goat. So, and damn near. They'll say they got anything in them except for black.
Unbelievable.
So that's why a lot of white people, what they'll do is they'll just look at their family tree, because if they shake it, a black person will fall out. So they have to. So they don't really like to talk about history, their history, their family history like that, because there's always going to be something in their background other than white. Look at my family tree. My family tree is all mixed up. So it's like I told somebody the other day. Not too long ago, my family is descended from a whole bunch of crazy Indians and a whole bunch of thug ass niggas.
Wow.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell. That's what we got.
Okay.
My mom, if you're listening, Mom, you know I'm not lying. So, but that's where we come from. So that's just what we are. But black people as a whole, as far as interracial relationships are concerned, from back in the day, most of those interracial relationships were literally forced upon us because our sisters got raped.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
A lot of them got raped, and that's not cool. But it happened. But that was the time back then. So that's why you got so many light-skinned brothers out here.
I remember one time, I don't know if it was you or somebody I was talking to. They like, I work with my coworker. His name is. It was a black name, like
Dwayne. You talking about Jamal?
Jamal, yeah. I'm like, hey, what?
A white dude named Jamal. Jamal was cool though, man. Jamal was cool, man. He was a white dude named Jamal.
Was he? And here I am acting all crazy. Was he pure white?
But that was his name.
Cause
That was his name, Jamal.
it makes you wonder. Did his was his, and those make it where they get that name
You never
from.
know, man. You never know.
They always say there are white names and then there are black names.
Right.
And we just associate a Jamal.
Exactly, because
with
all
a
the
black
Jamals,
name.
because all the Jamals I've known before I met him have been black.
Exactly.
Every single last one of them. And then I can tell you exactly what happened, how I met this dude. I was at work, and for those of you who don't know, I'm a computer technician. So I went to go fix his computer. Something was wrong with the system. He couldn't get onto the network.
Right.
And so I go to where he's at, and I'm looking at the ticket. It said Jamal. I forgot the guy's last name. I'm looking for a black dude.
Right.
And so I asked
naturally,
Yeah. Instinctively, I'm looking for a black guy.
Exactly.
And so I go up to one of my guys that I talk to on a regular basis. I'm like, man, where's Jamal at? Oh, he's right over there. I'm looking, I'm like, what the hell? I mean, it was a white dude. It was a tall white dude with drugs of all things. He had dreads in his head. And so I'm like, oh man, for real? I said, damn. That's messed up. And so I'm like, okay, a white guy named Jamal. I was just thinking that in my head. I'm like, went on ahead and I hooked him up, man. And we was cool ever since until he got another job someplace else.
Yeah. Not to be racist or anything, he went from Texas, wasn't he?
I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you. More likely than not, he was probably from the West Coast.
I was just going to say, he was from somewhere west.
Yeah.
Jamal with dreads.
Jamal with dreads, man. Yeah, because that tripped me out when I saw that.
Now, speak or tell the audience what you seen in Walmart the other day.
Oh, man. Wow.
I think you should share this story.
Okay, I would definitely share this story, y'all. I was at Walmart trying to pick up some things. Of course, I do what I always do whenever I go to Walmart. I call my boo thing up to see if she needed anything, and she didn't need anything. And as I'm walking through Walmart, I see the funniest thing in the world I've never seen, and I am not this good. I can't make this up. I saw a Hispanic dude with braids and a do-rag.
Hooray.
That tripped me out. I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. This dude is Hispanic and he got braids and a do-rag on? I had to call you up and tell you that. And I did.
First thing in my mouth is, did you take a picture?
I didn't think about it. I damn sure would have, but I did not think about it.
Because that's just, you can't even fathom that,
No, you can't.
And then you just start thinking, is he just adapting to his culture?
That's
like
possible.
where he's lived, where he was raised, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah. That's probably it. I mean, because
or he could be married to a black woman who does hair.
Possible.
Who does braids.
I'm not
baby, look me up with the braids for the summer.
Exactly, man. There's no telling.
Well, they cornrows?
Cornrows.
Whoa.
Yeah, nicely done too.
Wow. Did they have bees at the end?
No, they had bees.
Oh, they had no dang. If he had bees at the end, Keisha hooked him up.
You ain't lying.
Wow. That's what I was saying. You just gotta, you can't really tell, like, where people are from or what they do, or because everybody just adapted to each other's culture.
Right.
And it's not like as so, it's not like shocking as it was back in the day. Because I know, like, back in the 80s or 70s, 80s, even some parts of the 90s, you'll see people like, what? He with him, or what? She with him?
Yeah.
And then they had that old myth that when black women date outside their race, they go for the upper echelon.
Yes, they do.
And when most black, don't fault me, brothers, this is just what is said in the culture, that y'all dated down.
And you know what?
So
I can definitely attest to that. I can attest to that because all the brothers that I've seen that I know personally that have dated outside their race and they get a white woman, it's usually, and I'm sorry, brothers, it's white women that white men don't even want. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest with you. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth.
And why do you think that is? I'm just going to speak for me personally. If your own race don't want you, why would you want her?
Well,
not you in general. I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying.
Well, the thing of it is, a lot of brothers that I know that date white women, they date white women for dumbass reasons. Okay.
What are some of the reasons you've heard?
One of the main reasons that I've heard, which I think is complete BS on it, is the fact that white women are less trouble, for lack whatever that means. Them black women.
I've heard less. What is it? Passive.
They were more. Yeah, they were more passive.
Yeah, more easy
more
going.
Passive, more easy going.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah,
I've heard that one. That's one of the main ones I thought that I heard. The other reason was that white women have less of an attitude than black women, which I call bullshit on that, because the only thing worse than a black woman with an attitude is a white woman with an attitude.
I'm not gonna say nothing about that.
So I'm just being honest with you. But and the third reason is the sex thing. You know, there's that one thing that white women would do quicker than a black woman would. You know, that thing that y'all do, that thing that men like.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oral
but
sex,
okay,
baby.
so.
Oral sex, baby. But anyway,
but is that true though?
No.
Honestly?
I mean, that's a bunch of bull. I mean, that's just a brother trying to justify that, trying to say that white women are better than black women. That's all it was. You know, which is bullshit. But it's.
I know, these are our thoughts.
Right.
So let's talk about us right here.
Okay.
Of course, I have a slight attitude sometimes, not all the time.
No, I'm just saying, man.
But would you want me to help you be in your truth? Just be like, oh, okay, baby, you good. Baby, you right.
No.
Sure, sweet pea, whatever you say.
No, that ain't you.
Thank you.
That ain't you.
So who would want that?
I wouldn't.
Do you mean that men are so egotistically, what's the good word?
You just answered your own question.
That they can't deal with the back and forth conversation?
You just answered your own question.
Ego. Okay.
That's what it's all about.
Okay.
Ego, being dominant. You know.
And is that like prevalent? You have to be dominant in a relationship?
To some men, yeah.
Why?
Because I don't want to dominate my woman. I want my woman right here by my side, like you are. That's what I want. I want you by my side.
I mean, no disrespect to white women. If that's how you are, if you're that way, that's fine. You know, I know some sisters who are like that. You know, personally, I used to be like that. But over the time in life, I've had some ups and I've had some downs.
Of course.
And I've learned to control it, but it made me grow up as well.
Right.
And to fight for me, because I know my worth as a woman.
Exactly.
You know? So I'm not going to let you talk to me or do anything or just let you think, okay, of course, you're my king, I'm your queen.
Right.
I'm going to let you lead, because you are the leader.
Right.
But I'm not going to be behind you. I'm going to be beside you. And with that being said, I don't want you talking down to me.
Of course.
I'm going to be passive in some things.
Right.
But not all things.
Of course. That's just the way it is.
And I can't believe that that's a reason that most black men would kill to be with a white woman.
Those are the reasons why. If you listen to some of that dumb stuff that I've heard black men say that pertain to white women, you know, that's what they do.
Wow.
That's exactly what they do. That's what they say.
Okay, so what about those white women who be with the braids and the gold teeth and be like, girl?
Well, see, which brings me back to my next point. There's 3 types of white women out here that they're outside the race. The first type is the most common type. The kind that just date a black man just nigga piss somebody off in their family.
Okay.
That's the first type. That's the most common type. You know, they'll do it just to piss off their mother, piss off their father, you know, whatever. And they'll go out, they'll appropriate black culture.
What they call being rebellious.
Pretty much, yeah. What they'll do is they'll go out and they'll go so far as to appropriate black culture with the beads in the hair, and the braids and the gold teethers and the whole nine, and talking in slang, and talking in the black vernacular, as they call it.
Right.
That's the first type.
Correct.
The second type is the type that want to know if the sexual myth about black men is true.
Okay.
You know, so those are common too, because the only thing they want to do is make sure that thing is you know, they want to climb on the soul pole.
I mean, let's just keep it real. Hey, I don't fault them for that one. Excuse me, I'm sorry, but I'm just keeping it real. But I mean, curiosity do kill the cat.
I mean, you know, yeah, they want to get on the soul pole. You know, that's all it is to it. And the third one is just black. It's just the kind that just genuinely like being with black men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, they just like black men. There's no ifs, ands, buts, and maybes about it.
I mean, that attraction, you know.
Yeah, if you're attracted, that's what you like. You like if you're an Asian woman who likes black men, which there's a lot of them out there too. You know, that's what you want to be. Right?
Well, I heard that most Asian women, well, some Asian women and some white women have said that their own men and their own culture is passive.
Right.
And they want someone that's a little bit aggressive.
They want the
and
alpha
they think,
male.
yeah, and they think black men are alpha aggressive men.
Right. They want the alpha male.
Yeah.
So you know, and I get that part. I get that part.
Yeah.
I have a cousin right now. You know, Cleveland Jr. What's up, brother? He's married to a Filipino woman, and you know, nicest woman in the world. Yeah.
Is she passive though?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, you know, she's his partner. You know, and that's what he wants. That's what he wants. That's his partner. So you know, that's just you know.
That's what I think. Well, I know that's what I told you. You and I started dating and everything. I said I just don't want to be your friend, your homie, your lover. I want a partner.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get in this world and this life without having someone that got your back.
Right.
I don't care where you come from, what ethnicity you're in. Everybody needs a partner. Like you and I always joke about, I'm your ride or die, you my ride or die,
damn straight, yeah.
Buddy or Clyde, whatever. And I don't care what color your skin, as long as you're there for me and I know I can count on you 100%, that's just what that is. And I mean, some people do take offense to it, and some people just have to realize, you know, that it's just not a black and white thing or a straight thing. Let's go there. It's not a straight thing either.
Right.
I mean, because I've seen mixed couples that are same-sex couples as well.
Yeah.
You know? So, other than that, that's just what it is. It's just you can't help who you love.
I agree with you.
And I know some people, to this day, there are a lot of people that have problems with interracial dating.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. There's a lot of people, yeah, you're right, there's a lot of people out there. I'll give you another example. A friend of mine, Emilio Trinidad, he's Dominican. That's my dude. Me and Emilio, we've been knowing each other since my days at Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma. That's my dude right there. That's my brother, you know, and he's married to a Filipino woman. Her name is Maribel. Maribel is the nicest person that you ever want to meet. You'll get a chance to meet her. They live in Oklahoma.
Okay.
So, yeah, those people are some of the nicest folks. And Emilio had told me several times over that his family and her family, they get along great, which is a good thing. They have a son, Mario. That's my nephew. What's up? You know, they love him. They love that little boy to death. That's the only child. And that well, he's not a boy anymore. He's a grown man. He's getting ready to finish college here, as a matter of fact.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's what's up, Mario. Do your thing, brother. But, yeah, it's all about what it all boils down to. It boils down to who you really want to be with. I mean, like I said, me personally, even though I date outside my race, I prefer my sisters. And I got a good one right here to my left, y'all.
Well, I'm just breaking down what you said. Oh, thank you, sweetie. I'm just breaking down what you said. It's like, it's not just about sex. It's not going to say who has the biggest Johnson. Okay. It's about your compatibility with that person and your commitment to that person. But then here's another avenue I like to go down. Is it admiration or it is a fetish? You know, some people have fetishes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
You know?
You're absolutely right about that. That goes along the lines of
when you said white women.
Right, exactly. It's all about that, you know, about it's that soul pose, what they say it is. Yeah. You know. And it is
for most people say, supposedly, I don't know how true this is, but like Latino women supposed to be more freakier in bed or whatever, or like a spicier in bed or whatever. But I'm sure there are some sisters that can get that spice on, white women that can get that spice on too. Right. It's just what you prefer. Right. And your level of intimacy or whatever. Right. But I don't think it's like, oh, because she's Latino, she's a freak. You know, I don't look at it like that.
No, you should look at it like that. But like I said, it all boils down to, like I said, who you really want to be with. And to go back to an earlier point, don't lose sight of who you are.
That was my next point. It's like, just because you're in an interracial relationship, does that mean, oh, I'm up here fighting racism? Are you really?
No, you're not. No, you're not. I've seen black men and black women think that just because they're dating outside their race, mostly white people, that they're above everybody else because of who they're married to or who they're dating or whatever.
Absolutely.
So they lost sight of who they are. And I don't like that. That's the one thing that I hate about that situation.
Right.
Don't ever lose sight of who you are. Because when it all boils down to it, you still black.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I've seen several stories online. And Tariq Nasheed, shout out to that brother, has pulled out several instances where where black women were dating white men and the N word come out their mouth.
So I didn't even say that. I said the BB word.
That's just as bad.
But that's just as bad too.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, you know, so with that being said,
how do you come back from that?
You can't. It's impossible.
I mean, I can love you, but then when you, oh my goodness. I don't even want to.
And that's what it is. And that's exactly what it is. And I read this one story where this brother was married to a white woman. And they said whenever they start getting intimate, the N word comes out of her mouth. So I'm like, ooh, okay, brother, and you accept that? And from what I understand, they're still married. I'm like, ooh, brother, seriously?
Well, I know you have a problem with the N word, but some men think like that's a term of endearment, more or less. You know, like big. Well, I think what Latino women call poppy. You know, something like that. You know, so N word. Come on, N word. Come on.
Nah. I'm sorry. That's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line. I mean, the second, if I'm with you and you are of a different race and that N word come out your mouth, that's it.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah.
You know.
But let me ask you this as well. Like, just because someone, a person of color,
right?
If they date outside their race, are they considered that they don't love themselves or like themselves?
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
That's an individual thing. There are some people.
Is that a form of cooning?
Hell yeah. I give you a prime example.
It is.
I give you a prime example. Kodak Black, the rapper.
Okay.
He said, and I quote, "I'm black as fuck. I don't want no dark ass B word, you know, as my woman." Those are his exact words.
I've never heard that lyric.
Oh yeah,
really?
Oh yeah, he said that because you know he's from Florida, I think. He's Haitian. I think it's from a Haitian background. I might be wrong. I think it's from a Haitian background. But even then, if you are so fixated on skin tone, which you shouldn't be proud of your melanin.
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful thing. Who cares about how dark you are?
Yes, it is.
But you know, but it's
So you think he has a problem with himself?
Yeah, it's self-hatred. It's self-hatred. There's a lot of people out there that date outside their race because of the fact that they hate themselves.
Wow.
And they try to, because, I mean, what talk show was that? It's one of those older ones. I think it was Jenny Jones from back in the day. They were talking,
that's a name from the past.
I know. They were talking, there was a panel of people that were people that were dating outside their race.
Right.
There was, of course, black people. There was this Dominican chick that only dated white men because she wanted her children not to have that Dominican vibe to them.
Well, I've heard of that. I want my kids to have quote unquote good hair.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the same thing with this dude that said, you know, if it ain't white, it ain't right. He said that all through the show.
If it
ain't white, it ain't right. So, and that's all he dates. Well, and that's all he dated was white women. Which I'm like, brother, seriously.
If it ain't white, it ain't right.
That's what he said. So, so on that note, man, he was out there. He really was. So he definitely.
And that was like Jenny Jones, like in the 80s, 90s?
90s, man. That's 90s. I remember that talk show. I remember that episode right there. Like it was yesterday. But yeah, the dude,
Do you think people now have that kind of attitude?
They do. There's a lot of people out there that hate themselves, that so to the point to where they date outside their race so their children won't look like them. They hate the fact that they're black, or they hate the fact that they have dark skin.
The coarse hair, the big nose,
the wide nose, you know, which You know, personally, I think all that stuff is beautiful. I don't care.
Absolutely.
I mean, my baby got natural hair. Come on, man.
Yes, I do.
Yes, yeah, man. Come on, man. Come on. That's all it is.
But you know, again, I know I keep saying love is love, but you shouldn't have to justify what you like by putting another race down or putting your own race down either.
And that goes along.
I'm gonna go back to how we used to do in the schoolyard. Your mama black.
There you go.
I mean, you know, let's just keep it 100.
You say the mouthful.
Your
right
sister black.
There you go.
Your grandma.
Your grandma. Everybody.
Your aunt. So, do you feel that about them? I mean, I know your preference is your preference, but you know, watch how you say things too.
I agree. See, like I said, don't lose sight of who you are.
Absolutely.
And so that's what those people do. They lose sight of who they are. I mean, the very same thing that you're saying right now about black women, would you say that to your mother?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You gotta remember your mom is black. Right?
Exactly. Your mother is black, just as black, if not blacker than you. Because I know my mother's black. She's darker than me. I love my mother to death.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to ever say anything bad about black women because my mother's a black woman.
Absolutely.
As well as my aunts, as well as my grandmother was a black woman.
Your sister.
My sister. Everybody.
So, you know, I don't know. But I have seen, you know, I've grown up with, you know, hood guys and, you know, they date the hood girls. But then they get a taste of what they call the other side of the track.
Right.
Then they change their zip codes. And it goes back to that, hey, where Corey? You know, Corey is now Mr. Davis now. You know,
he's Mr. Davis.
You know, he don't go by little CC.
Little C note. He don't go by that no more.
Little C note or whatever. Yeah. He's going by Mr. Davis now. Corey Davis. You know, say his whole name.
Yeah.
I mean, but like I said, I know we all evolve.
Right.
But like you said, don't forget from whence you came.
Exactly. Don't ever forget who you are.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can date whoever you want to date. And you can marry whoever the hell you want to marry. That's your business.
But
you know, don't lose sight.
You know, but also, is it a big deal?
It's not a big deal. I mean, to be honest with you, it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It really isn't. So.
But so many people is just like making it a big deal.
Yeah, they're making it a big deal.
And I know I used to work with this young lady, and she would get called to the school all the time because they would pick on her child because of how they look and what they had on and the way she spoke. And I'm like, oh my God, is this really how we treat our grade schoolers? Grade schoolers are taught that. They've seen that
they're
from somewhere.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. They're taught it, man. So, you know, it all goes back to what they're taught.
Right. So do we learn from that? What can we learn from it? Because I know sometimes, like you said, with you, just go back to you, for example, you learn some things from the different cultures.
Right.
Like I think when you and I was discussing the show beforehand, I asked you about the, was it Latino or, no, what is J-Lo?
J-Lo is Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. You said you dated a Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
So cause I think I asked you, did y'all eat moolah? A moolah, what is it? The stuff Fred Sanford always talked about.
Mofongo?
No, oh God, what was that? Menudo, yeah. So I think you told me she taught you how to eat that or showed you how to make it or whatever.
And mofongo too.
So it's like you learn different things. I think you said you know how to make it now, right?
Yeah, I do.
So you learned something from the culture.
Yeah, I did learn something from the culture. I mean, you know, and like I said, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. You know, dating a Puerto Rican chick is just like dating a sister. It really is. I'm just being honest with you.
What you talking about, Mookie? No, Reginald. What are you talking about, Reginald?
That's exactly what she called me. That's your name, isn't it? I said, that's your name, man. And she was from New York too, of all places.
Honestly, I think any woman, like I said before, if she knows her worth, she not gonna let you just.
Oh no, man. That's just the way it is, man. You know, back to what we're talking about, man. Yeah, it's interracial dating is not a bad thing.
Absolutely,
it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing.
It's a preference too.
It's more of a preference.
Yeah, it's a preference.
But you know, all I got to say about that is, man, don't lose sight of who you are. Number one.
I mean, but in reality, don't you though a little bit? Don't you a little?
I didn't.
Because you have to conform to, because you're commingling two different cultures. Right. Probably commingling like totally raised different and. Right. You know, like if you like to just for instance, you like to go to bed with the TV on, and she like to listen to white noises sound at night. I mean, you know, it's just something to like with me. I like to go sometimes with the TV on, sometimes I like to listen to music. You know, so it's like you have to come up with. Sometimes you do lose just like a little bit.
Oh, I'm talking about lose who you are as a person. I mean, don't
you
lose
mean
who
culturally?
You are as a black person, right?
Okay.
Don't lose who you are as a black person because like if whenever you're with somebody, you got to make adjustments, you know, to that person because none of us are raised the exact same way.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are some nuances. Cause like case in point, let's take me and you for instance. You know, our family lives pretty much mirrored each other, damn near.
Absolutely.
So you know. But you know, it's more of whenever you're with another person, which is another subject for another show. When you're with another person, you got to make adjustments to that person because that's a whole different personality right there.
Absolutely.
So that's a whole different thing right there. But when you're in a relationship with a person of another race, that's a whole culture thing. You have to adjust to a whole different thing.
So I'm just gonna play devil's advocate. Here I am, devil's advocate. Hey, I'm here. Okay, if you're the type of brother that like to go to the black art festivals and Essence festivals,
never been, but I want to go.
You know, and she's a cruise person, like to go on the cruises and like to go to Martha's Vineyard, and you okay? Well, let's commingle our cultures, and you take her to one of the black art festivals or to the where we gonna go the African American Art Museum,
right? And
you've gone, and she's like, I just don't like that. I didn't get nothing from it. Would that offend you?
No, it really wouldn't because I wouldn't expect her to like it. To be honest with you.
But would you want her to learn something though?
I would want her to learn something.
But what if she don't want to?
Well, then you already know what's going to happen. That relationship ain't gonna last long at all.
You don't think so?
Oh no. No, because if she's not willing to open her mind to my culture, then why are you even here? Because like if you're of a different
she's
race,
probably just not interested.
But still, you know, if you're in a relationship with a person of another culture, you have to learn a little bit about it. Be open minded about it. I mean, that's just the way. That's the only way it's going to work. Because otherwise, it's not going to work. Because
so you have to learn that person's culture.
You have to learn a little bit. You don't have to learn the whole thing, but at least learn a little bit about it. You're with this person, just a little bit. You ain't got to learn everything. I mean, because like when I was with that Filipino chick, I didn't have to learn the language Tagalog. I didn't have to learn that.
But did she get to know you as a person? Did she get to know your culture?
Definitely, man. I turned her on to a lot of stuff. I turned her on to J.A. Rogers. She didn't even know who he was.
Who is that?
J.A. Rogers, the guy that talked about earlier about the books. He's a writer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I turned on to J.A. Rogers because she was reading a whole bunch of black history, kind of like what I did with you.
Yeah.
Started reading a whole bunch of stuff about history, about black people and the struggles that we went through here in the United States. And she was like, wow, I didn't know all that.
Absolutely. I can relate, yeah.
So, you know, I turned her on to that. And she was cool with that. So, like I said, she didn't learn everything about the black culture, but she learned a lot from me.
Okay, let's do this. Devil Gavin here. She's adapting to your culture, getting to know you, doing the little things you like to do while you were dating.
Okay.
Get married. And hey, babe, festival next weekend. Put on your calendar. I don't want to go. Okay, maybe she don't feel good. Maybe she's busy. Okay, babe, 2 months from now, another culture festival. We can go to Atlanta to one of the networking, black networking. Put on your calendar. I don't want to go.
Okay.
Then you just start noticing she just don't want to do anything with you and your culture.
Okay.
Is that a deal breaker?
Well, it depends on the situation. That right there.
Now you're married. Now you're not dating. You're married.
Right, married.
Yeah.
So you know that's just the way it is. Because I know there's going to be some things that hypothetically speaking, that she's going to want to do that I'm not going to want to do. So that right there, that's cool.
But every time you suggest something with your culture, she don't want to do it.
Okay, I have the option to do the same thing, so it's no big deal. I mean, we're married now, so that goes without saying. I mean that right there, when a situation like that does rise, that's just like with me and you. There's gonna be some things that you want to go do that I'm not gonna want to go do.
As far as
I'm just saying,
no,
we haven't bumped into that yet. I haven't bumped into that yet, but really, there's going to be some things that you're going to want to go do that I'm not going to want to go do. But
and we're gonna do everything together.
Yeah, I mean
salt and pepper.
Okay, but still, that's.
Well, of course, like I know, because I know you say you won't never want to go shopping with me. I don't know why.
I learned that a long time ago. You don't want to go shopping with a woman. Any man out there that's got a wife or a girlfriend, a long-term serious relationship with somebody, you know good and damn well you do not go shopping with a woman.
It's an experience. You have to experience.
Fellas, back me up on this, please. You know you do not go shopping with a woman. That's just asking for trouble.
Okay, but really though, culturally though, okay, let's do this.
Okay.
And I think we're going to speak on this. We're just giving you a leeway to our topic next week.
Okay.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Religion.
Ooh.
How are we going to handle that?
Good one. That's a
But let's just leave that for next week. Let's elaborate on it. But let's put that in everybody's mind right now.
Yeah. Put that on your mind.
Yeah.
Just let that marinate for a minute. Let that marinate for a minute. Because
that's
I will say
big deal.
Because I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, but we can talk a little bit about that now.
Okay.
Because just for the subject matter.
Okay.
But tune in next week, people. We're going to talk about the impact of religion on the black community.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be a good one. So be ready. Be ready. But anyway, to answer your question, well, everybody knows for the most part, black people are the most spiritual people on the planet.
I believe that. I concur.
That is a very, very, very true statement.
That's all we had back then.
As master teacher John Henry Clark said several times in several of his lectures, we can out-pope the Pope and out-Muhammad.
Huh.
You give us a religion, we'll take off with it. So that's just how we are.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, other cultures, even though they have different religions, for example, Hispanic women, most of them are Catholic. Most Hispanic people are Catholics. Most of them.
Most of them.
Just like and white people, they could be anything from Christian to a Baptist to Methodist to Episcopalian.
They're all
across the board. And they do things differently than the way most Southern Baptists.
Absolutely.
Most black people are Baptists. Most, not all.
Most, not
You got some that are AME. You got some that are
Church of Christ, Church of Lord
Church of Christ,
Christ,
you know,
Baptist,
right?
Seventh-day Adventist, Catholic.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of all across the board. But for the most part, most of us, I say about 65. I think it was 65% of us are Baptists.
That's how you were born and raised.
Yeah, that's how.
And then when you
get
older, you branch out.
You branch off into whatever you want to branch off into.
Absolutely.
So, but Baptist churches do things way different.
Yeah.
Than Catholic churches.
Oh yeah.
We do things way different than the Episcopalian church,
right?
Or Lutheran church, or whatever, or Methodist, or even Seventh-day Adventist. We do things different.
Yeah.
So that's a problem there. And then you got some women out there that are from different races, like let's say Asian, that are Buddhist.
Okay, I forgot. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So. With that being said, they do things different than we do. They don't really worship the way that we worship.
Right.
They worship on a daily basis.
Exactly.
So
it's a little different too. I've seen that.
It's very different.
I read a bit about that. I'm like, wow, that's different.
Yeah,
well, let's just keep it within our own culture. What if you're Baptist and she's Muslim?
That's a good question. And that's different. That's different. That's different.
Totally different.
That's completely different.
So I said, who? I know the Bible says when you find a good thing, you cleave to it. And so when a man and a woman get married, the woman is supposed to follow the man.
Yeah.
So if he's Baptist and she was born Muslim, jeez Louise.
That's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big problem.
It goes back to that old saying, are you equally yoked?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
So even though we're going to talk about religion, that still has to do with interracial marriage too, because there are some people
out there that
was raised in religions.
There you go.
And then when you get together in a relationship,
right? Exactly.
Where we going? What we gonna do? Who we gonna serve? Well, most people say, who we gonna serve? We gonna sing Buddha? We gonna serve? So
right, precisely.
Wow.
So that's a really
that's a tough one.
That is.
But I guess we'll elaborate more next week when we get on religion.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna have to do some homework on that because, like I said, I know I'm one religion, you're one religion. We both been raised with different religions. I know a lot of people with different religions.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember. I know a friend of mine. I want to say she was Baptist. And he was, I want to say Muslim. I want to say Muslim. And she tried. And right now they go to two different churches.
Hey.
They go to two different churches.
Whatever works.
Well, I'm gonna say two. They worship two different ways.
Whatever
say
works.
that. Yeah.
Whatever works. Whatever
Yeah.
works. It's whatever works.
But would they keep your relationship healthy? Because you're getting taught Christianity. You're getting taught Christianity two different ways, and your thought process might be two different thought process. And then when you bring in a mix of children,
well, see, here's my take on that. And like you said, we'll elaborate more on that on next week's podcast. As far as religions are concerned, I think the differences in religion is a good thing, especially when you have children, because they don't really have to follow one particular religious dogma.
Okay.
They can follow whatever they can take a little bit from this one and a little bit from that one and make their own conclusion as to which way they're going to go.
Okay.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have children, it's still a good thing because, like I said, I've learned a lot from you as far as religion is concerned, and I know you learned a lot from me as far as religion is concerned. So, with that being said, we'll just take the two. Take whatever we want to take out of one, and take whatever we want to take out the other, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
It's not a bad thing.
Right.
It's called spiritual growth.
Right. True.
So that's just.
So that's all part of that interracial.
There you go.
You gotta take into account of it. Yeah.
You gotta take it into account.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Good thoughts. Good thoughts.
Yeah.
So, what do you, after our little conversation, what is your conclusion of it? Do you think it is? Will it get better? Will people stop judging it?
What, interracial relationships?
I think people judge it.
I think a lot of people do judge it. Because I remember back when I was, dating outside my race. I mean, I would see the sisters looking at me like, "Ooh, that's all you get."
I'll be 100.
So,
I did that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Oh, what do you want with her?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've seen this. I've seen this.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, man. It all boils down to, if you have a thick enough skin. We
didn't touch on? I know you probably don't want to touch, but I got to say this.
No, go ahead.
Why is it the myth that when Pookie ran track for us, he dated Sasha? That was the head cheerleader.
Okay.
He went to college. He dated Trina to help him write them term papers. But once he got that $40 million contract,
he dated Becky.
He dated Heather or Becky. So who?
That's a good question. So,
so where did that myth come from? Is that true? You think that's true? Because that's what you see mostly.
Yeah. See, like I said, that goes along the lines of.
If you think a lot of the athletes now, and even some of the entertainers, they're married to white women.
Most of them are married to white. Most of the black athletes are married to white women. Most of the black entertainers are married to white women.
Once they make it big. But when they're struggling, they got Juanita.
Yeah. They got
and Michelle.
Yeah, they got LaQuisha.
And LaQuisha.
Yeah, they got LaQuisha. But
and Nene.
Yeah. But that's why I like Snoop Dogg. With that woman since high school.
Okay, I found out Ice Cube too.
Yeah.
And like a Denzel Washington and
Sam Jackson.
It was an athlete the other day. Told me, wow, I didn't know he had a. You'd be shocked when you. But I have to interject here. You know who shocked me when I found out he was married to a black woman?
Who?
The guy who do Star Wars.
George Lucas.
I did not know.
Oh yeah.
When I tell you,
been married for years.
I was so proud.
Yeah, married for years.
I was like, yay! I don't know why I did that, but I was shocked. I don't know why, but when I just saw this like maybe 2 years ago.
Well, see, think of it is, it's different. When you see successful, quote unquote, black men, their key to success, their homage to success is a white woman. I done made it now. See, that goes along the lines of me saying losing sight of who you are.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what it is. Yeah. It's a status symbol to them.
Status symbol.
Exactly. Yes. That's exactly what it is. It's a status symbol. It's kind of like when you get successful and the first thing you do is go out and buy a Jaguar. Or
change your zip code.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And just to let people know, buy that expensive $100,000 Rolex. They're like, I done made it now, look what I got. And that's pretty much in the nutshell. That's pretty much what they do. It's a status symbol to them, so that's why they do that. And that's not correct. That's just not right. But you know, it is what it is.
So
And,
I mean, I know we don't really, but I just gotta ask you. So why do you think of Sam Jackson or Ice Cube or I mean, you said Snoop Dogg
yeah,
stayed where they stayed, kept who they had?
because they got some sense.
Mm.
That black woman was with them when they had nothing.
Mm.
And you know, because I know that Snoop Dogg's wife, she was with him when he was going back and forth to jail, and she's still with him.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, what man in his right mind would give that up?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, that's just the way it is. I mean, like I said, they had some sense. Because Sam Jackson, he'll be the first person to tell you his wife was with him when he didn't have nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Latanya, yeah, I love her.
Oh yeah.
They were both struggling, trying to make, you know.
There
make
you
it
go.
big, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same deal with Lawrence Fishburne. His wife is black.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
See, it does make you wonder, is it, oh, goodness, it just make you wonder, why do you feel like you have to go to that echelon just to think you can stay? Like, to think that you succeeded or that you, quote unquote, made it.
well, like
Is
I said,
it really the skin tone that
Yes.
make you feel like it's that you've made it?
He has answered
You
your
don't
own
think
question.
you've made it with a black woman?
He just answered your own question. They think that just because they think that the woman that they marry or have on their own arm is a symbol of who they truly are. So that's why they upgrade, for lack of a better term. That's why I put it in quotes, upgrade from a sister to a white chick.
And so with interracial dating or marriage, is that healthy though, to think that? Do you really, well no, that goes with what you say, you think they changed.
Right.
They lost sight of who they are.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it. Don't ever lose sight of who you are. So you know that's my only problem with interracial relationships and dating is the fact that they lose sight of who they truly are.
And even think that that'll make you feel like you succeeded because of
Right.
your arm candy.
There you go.
It makes me wonder, something wrong with you, you know?
Exactly. You know, you have something.
Where's your history?
There you go. You hate yourself.
Where's your bloodline and your
There you go.
family, you know?
There you go. Most of them, they hate themselves, like I said. And that's just the way they feel about the situation. And that's sad.
Well, other than that, I think that my synopsis on it is love who you love.
There you go.
Same sex, no sex, whatever. I still feel there's someone in this world for everyone.
Yep.
And just be happy.
Yep. Pretty much.
I know sometimes it can be scary. Cause I saw this documentary not too long ago where this guy, he was scared to hold her hand because she was African. And she was a beautiful, kind of remind you of Lupita.
Oh, man.
And he was scared to hold her hand because they lived in one of the deep south states. I'm not going to name the state.
Man.
And
See,
he
there you
was
go.
she want to go out and do things, and
He didn't want to go.
they would go, but they would act like they weren't together.
Oh, man, that's not cool. That's not cool.
And he was just like, I love her to death. He said, but I just fear that something will happen to us.
Well, considering if he was in the deep south, I can tell you right now, me coming from Oklahoma, I can pretty much guarantee you, man, even if he was in Oklahoma, he would have got ostracized. Let me tell you that right off the bat.
That don't make sense, though.
I agree with you, but you know that's how people are, and it's mostly white people that do it. That's the sad part. It's mostly white people.
Well, he did say that. He said that when he met her family, they were more accepting of him and them being together.
And that's
then some of his family, he just felt like kind of like what you said, they tolerated it for his sake.
Right.
But then when they go out in public, he said he look at the people how they stare and whisper and you know, most white women would be like, what? You know, and he just felt like he had to protect her from that.
Yeah, exactly.
But how do you protect someone from that? Because I'm pretty sure if he saw it, she saw it.
She saw it.
Yeah.
She doesn't say anything to him. She saw it just as much as he did. Almost. Because, like I said, going from my experience with dating outside Norway.
Did you get that?
Yeah. Definitely.
How did y'all handle
it?
it?
Was mostly, well, the thing of it is, the main thing that I got, I'm just going to be honest with you, the main thing that I got was from the sisters. They were like, damn, a good looking black man, we couldn't find no sister. So, and that's what I got. And of course, you know, you had white men that were looking at her like, what the hell you doing with that nigga?
Well, they probably did a double take first of all, just to make sure you was a brother because of your skin. I'm just not trying to do the light bright thing, but you know, because of your color, they probably thinking, oh, he is a brother, you know, and then they probably start questioning, what is she doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, that's just the way it is. I mean, you know, people are going to judge no matter what.
Mm.
So,
But it's so.
because I know when people, I know when me and you are, people think, ooh, they love each other. Yeah, we do.
You think they see it?
I know they see. I know they see. But you know, the last time when we went to when we went to where did we go last week? Cheesecake Factory.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the Cheesecake Factory. That was a couple of us on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
They saw us come in and they saw us talking,
Mm-hmm.
and that the old man looked at us and kind of like smiled and shook his head. I'm like, yeah,
I love my sweet pea.
yeah, I love my baby too, man. So,
Well, you want to do a wrap up?
yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up.
All
man.
right.
What it all boils down to, ladies and gentlemen, is, you know, if you date outside your race, don't lose sight of who you are as a person.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, if you're black, be proud to be black no matter who you marry.
Absolutely.
If you're Asian, be proud to be Asian no matter who you marry. Whatever. It's just just be proud of who you are. Don't lose sight. And don't put down the sisters, brothers, please.
No.
And the sisters, don't put down the brothers.
Well, no.
Don't do that. That's not cool.
Well,
So,
yeah.
you know, but you know, we'll all be all right. So just don't lose sight of who you are. That's all I got to say about that. You got anything to add, babe?
Well, just remember, love is love. God put us all on this earth to love one another, each other, on one accord.
There we go.
And if it is outside your race, be authentically 100.
100%, baby. I couldn't have said it
Just
better.
be 100.
I couldn't have said it better.
Don't change.
Nope.
Don't conform.
Nope.
Be yourself.
There you go. That's it,
And with
man.
that's all I have to say.
All right, baby. That's it, man.
All right.
That's all we got today, y'all.
Yes,
So, you
sir.
know, by all means, leave a comment in the comment section if you want
Please,
to.
yes.
And definitely hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
So, because y'all hit that like button, man, just like it 100 million times if you can.
Yes.
So, you know, and we'll do some better stuff.
And join us next week. Big topic next week.
Oh, man, yeah.
Next
Big
week
topic
is
next
going to
week.
be next week. Big topic.
Big topic next week. So,
Yes.
you know, but next week, like I said before, in case you missed it, we're going to talk about religion and its impact on the black community. So that's going to be a good one.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, I am Reggie,
I'm Mimi the lady.
and we are out.